question is from Brian G9581. Hey Brian, how are you? What is your favorite underrated Stallone film? I'm gonna say, now this movie got great critical praise, but it didn't do well at the box office, and you never hear people talk about it. Critics really loved it though, so I'm gonna go ahead and say my favorite underrated Stallone film is Copland, and I recommend anyone that hasn't seen Copland to watch it. I love this movie because Sylvester Stallone plays a completely different character from any character he has ever played in any of his movies. I will actually say that besides Rocky 1, Sylvester Stallone's best acting is in Copland. Check that movie out if you haven't seen it. It's a drama mostly. There's a little bit of action and suspense, but it's mostly a drama. And Stallone plays this shy, overweight cop. He's such a held back character. I'm gonna do a review of it sometime. Hopefully, I would like to get back into doing movie reviews. I just don't have time. But see Copland if you haven't seen it. Excellent movie. Stallone's best acting since Rocky 1, in my opinion. Oh, he also says, sorry Brian, his favorite underrated Stallone movie is Tango and Cash. Eccentric Ness 81, what's up Gino? I knew you were going to ask this question. Dan, I have a question for you. Have you watched Nighthawks yet? No, I haven't, and I'm kicking myself. Back in probably 2001 or 2002, I owned the movie Nighthawks. My mom bought it for me, and I remember trying to watch it one time, and I got like 10 minutes into it, and like, I just wasn't into it for some reason, so I shut it off, and I ended up getting rid of it. I don't even remember how I got rid of it, but everyone says it's such a great movie, and I really wish I would have given it another chance, because it's like one of the highest rated Sylvester Stallone movies on IMDb, so I'm going to get that movie back, and I'm going to watch it, so I haven't seen it yet, Gino, I'm sorry about that. Jim70041, hey Jim, how are you? He just says, Merry Christmas, have a great time, your channel is great. Thank you, Jim. Thank you very much. I really appreciate you checking my channel out, and all you guys. I really appreciate you guys sticking with me, and I really hope you like the new Rocky Room and what I'm going to do with the channel. Thank you, everybody, and thank you, Jim. The Hardy Boys 2000, how are you? Have you seen all of Stallone's movies? No, I haven't, and he's got some obscure ones, but his stuff before Rocky, I have not seen a lot of, and I'm going to name some. Lords of Flatbush, Fist, Paradise Alley, and Victory. Those are movies that you hear a lot of people talk about, and I haven't seen any of them, so I'm going to try to get those watched. So I have not seen them all. Solid Versetti, hey Josh, how are you doing? Let's get to your question, buddy. Is there a certain Stallone film you're not keen on? Yes, there is. Avenging Angelo. There, I said it. Some people probably thought I was going to say Stop or My Mom Will Shoot, but Avenging Angelo is a terrible movie. When I first watched that movie, I actually thought it was pretty good. And here's the thing, like, when you first see a movie, you got to see it multiple times. I don't care what movie it is, to get a real opinion on it. And the more I've seen this movie, it's just terrible. I do not like Avenging Angelo. The director couldn't decide if he was making a comedy, a romantic drama, an action movie, and the final fight in the movie is like one of the worst fight scenes I've ever seen. And Sly, this was at his lowest. I mean, he will say, this movie went right to DVD. It was the only movie that went direct to DVD of his, and it was terrible. So, I'll probably do a review of that one sometime. Arnie Sly 80s, how you doing? Let's get to your question. My question is, which is your most favorite movie of Sly? Well, I answered it earlier, but Rocky 1 is definitely my all-time favorite Sylvester Stallone movie. I give it a 10 out of 10. Not much else to say. John Rambo 8934, hey Lewis, how you doing, man? Is Sly doing Rambo 5? Just kidding. No, he is not. I think Rambo 4 ended perfectly, although I'm always down for more Rambo. I completely agree with you. Sylvester Stallone has said he's not going to do another Rambo. There was talk of him doing another Rambo, but I think what happened was he dropped it to do The Expendables, and now that The Expendables has become such a big hit, there's definitely going to be a third movie, as long as the second one does good, which it will. So I think he's done with Rambo. Would I see another Rambo? Yes. Would it be good? Probably, but the thing is there was a lot of time between Rambo 3 and Rambo 4, And I think that's kind of what made Rambo 4 good, was that it was like, oh, we haven't seen a new Rambo in a while. I think because Rambo 4 was successful, if they kicked out another one, I don't know if it would do very well. But if he made it, I would totally see it, and it would probably be good. So, Marvel Fan 234, hey Jimmy, you ask, if it's not too much trouble, please review the Rambo series. I will try to review the Rambo series. There was a time last year where I was doing a lot of Sylvester Stallone movie reviews. The way I do it, it was just hard to find time by myself without the kids being in the background. But I really do want to review the Rambo series, so I'll try to do it this year because it's a great series. So I will try to do that for you. Ednux68, hey Mike, how are you? Let's go ahead and get to your questions. Dan, if you were to ask Stallone one question, what would it be? I had to think really hard on this, and if I only had a chance to ask him one question, I think it would be, I would really want to know his honest opinion on how he feels when people say he has inspired them. I really would like to know if he was humble by that, or if he understands even how big of an impact he has made in people's lives. I mean, people are so inspired by Sylvester Stallone, and Mike, you know what I'm talking about. That would be my question. I would just want to know if he knew how big of an impact he had and how he really felt. I really would like to know from his heart how he feels about inspiring so many people. That'd be my question. What is your thoughts as to why Rocky had a hunting rifle on his wall when he showed Adrian the turtles? Now, I never knew about that until you brought it up on the Stallone Zone a while back. But my thoughts would be on this, I don't think Rocky was a hunter, so I'm going to go ahead and say that was his dad's gun, and I think it was just handed down to him, and he just kept it as a memento from his father. That's all I can come up with, but that could make sense, I just don't think Rocky was a hunter. You're a big fan of Rocky as I am. When people mock, slam, put down Rocky after you defend the series and kick their butts, do you wear your Rocky pride like a badge of courage? Yes, I do. And you know what? There are people that purposefully take jabs at me for being such a big Rocky fan, and they do it to be funny, and I'm totally fine with that because I know they know I'm such a huge fan. There's not a ton of people that I know that do not like the Rocky movies, but there are people that I know that have never seen them and kind of push them off like, oh, yeah, I wouldn't like those movies. And I always defend it, saying, you should watch the first Rocky movie. The first one, it won Best Picture. I mean, what does that tell you? I never pull back when defending Rocky, and I always speak my mind, and I try to be not get too angry and punch him out, so that hasn't happened yet. Do the Republican candidates seem dumber than a can of tomatoes? I don't like talking politics. I consider myself independent. I think I vote Democratic more so. I was way behind Barack Obama before he became president. I think all politicians are dumb, and yeah, it's all just talk. People promise and promise and promise, and then when they get there, they really can't do it. And unfortunately, Congress is to blame, in my opinion. I don't want to get into it, but Congress is really who holds the power. And if the Democrats and the Republicans can never agree on anything, and they pretty much deliberately don't agree with each other just to be spiteful. So, do the Republican candidates seem dumber than a can of tomatoes? Yes. Does Tebow make you want to pummel him with a bag of rusty hammers? Yes. I hate when celebrities come up with something stupid, or just come up with something and everyone has to repeat it. Why do we always have to imitate celebrities? It boggles my mind that football players, basketball players, sports people get paid more money than doctors who save people's lives. It just boggles my mind. That's just my opinion, obviously. I mean, maybe I would be different if I was big into sports, because I'm not, but yeah, I think our priorities in America need to be switched around.